A post appeared on Kianush Sanjari's X account stating if Fatemeh Sepehri, Nasreen Shakarami, Toomaj Salehi, and Arsham Rezai are not released from prison and the judiciary's website does not announce their release by 7 a.m. on Wednesday, November 13th, I will end my life in protest against Khamenei's dictatorship and his partners. If we assume that Kianush Sanjari himself wrote this post, then he can be seen as having sacrificed his life for his ideals. Otherwise, he stands as yet another victim of the oppressive system of the 1979 revolution regime. In a country ruled by a corrupt and tyrannical government that disregards public demands, rejects responsibility for citizens' safety, and even openly engages in violence against its people, the suspicious death of Kianush Sanjari becomes a lasting mark of shame. This legacy of oppression stemming from a regime that has imposed 46 years of brutality, massacre, and injustice overshadows a once prosperous, forward-moving Iran. Babak Paknia, the attorney in the Ekbatan case, reported that 6 young Iranians have been sentenced to death for their involvement in the death of a regime security officer, Arman Aliverdi. Mr. Paknia clarified that this preliminary qisas retribution ruling is open to appeal and does not relate to their other security charges. The verdict was issued at the request of the family of the Islamic Republic's officer Arman Aliverdi. The 6 sentenced Milad Armoun, Ali Reza Kafei, Amir Mohammad Khosh Iqbal, Navid Najaran, Hossein Ne'mati, and Ali Reza Barmarz Purnak were detained as part of Iran's freedom movement. Meanwhile, none of those responsible for the deaths of thousands of Iranian citizens have been arrested or tried. Mansour Qadiri Javid, a journalist with IRNA's research department, was tragically killed in Tehran by her husband, who reportedly attacked her with a knife and a blunt object. Her husband, a lawyer, cited domestic disputes as the motive for his horrific act after being arrested. While state media has focused solely on the narrative of family conflicts, the incident underscores the lack of protective mechanisms for victims of domestic violence. Cultural and legal constraints in Iran often leave women vulnerable, defenseless, and without recourse to safety in the face of such brutal crimes. Asghar Sepehri, the brother of monarchist political prisoner Fatemeh Sepehri, has reported alarming details about his sister's health. On his X account, he wrote, "Since her heart surgery in October last year, Fatemeh Sepehri has repeatedly requested medical leave, but Mashhad's intelligence and prison judge Navid Tabatabai have denied her requests. She was offered conditional release on the basis that she refrained from giving interviews to the media, but she refused. Due to her heart issues, severe pain in both hands and cervical vertebrae, inadequate nutrition in prison, and psychological pressures, her physical condition has significantly worsened. Despite her frail state, she declined the prison's offer of 1 external meal per week, insisting that this support be extended to her fellow prisoners as well." Sabah Bakhtiari, sister of Manouchehr Bakhtiari, the grieving father of the late Pooya Bakhtiari and a political prisoner in Chubin-Dar prison in Qazvin, has announced that her brother has ended his hunger strike following a request from Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. In a post on X, she stated that her brother's health remains critical and that the family is still deprived of direct contact with him. She also expressed concern over the lack of updates regarding his release, medical care, or even a temporary furlough. Sabah Bakhtiari highlighted Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi's ongoing support for political prisoners and freedom fighters and extended her gratitude to all freedom seekers who had shown concern for her brother during this time. Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi had previously called on Manucher Bakhtiari to end his hunger strike in a public message, emphasizing the importance of his well-being in the broader struggle for justice and freedom. Nasrin Shakarami, the mother of the late Nika Shakarami, recently faced her first court hearing on November 10, 2024, where she was charged with offenses including insulting sacred values and spreading false information to disturb public opinion. She defended herself via video conference from prison. According to her lawyer, an upcoming session will address additional charges such as propaganda against the regime, inciting the public to violence, insulting the supreme leader, and insulting Khomeini. Nasrin Shakarami has been in the custody of the Islamic Republic's intelligence forces since October 16th of this year. Fatemeh Heydari, sister of the late Javad Heydari, a victim of Iran's 2022 nationwide uprising, has reported an attack by security forces during the memorial ceremony for Yalda Agha-Fazli, another victim of the movement. In a post on X, Fatemeh Heydari wrote, "Security forces and plainclothes agents stormed the memorial for Yalda Agha-Fazli held at her gravesite with the presence of mourning families. They disrupted the ceremony, spread fear, and violently arrested Hossein Nader Begi, a protester who lost his eyesight during the 2022 demonstrations, and Majid Solhi, a relative of Yalda. This ceremony, intended to honor Yalda Agha-Fazli's memory, was attended by several families seeking justice for their loved ones. The assault and arrests have drawn condemnation as another instance of the regime's attempts to silence grieving families and suppress public dissent." Independent filmmaker Vahid Vakilifar, known for his 4 feature-length films Gesher, Tabur, K9, and The Rhinos Conquered the Middle East, has announced his decision to sell one of his kidneys due to dire financial circumstances. In a heartfelt Instagram post, the 43-year-old filmmaker wrote, "I, Vahid Vakilifar, an independent filmmaker, 43 years old, blood type B negative, have decided to sell one of my kidneys due to financial hardship. Please send your price offers to the email address below." This announcement highlights the severe economic challenges facing artists and independent filmmakers in Iran, where restrictive policies and economic instability have made it increasingly difficult for creative professionals to sustain their livelihoods. Mr. Vakilifar's decision underscores the devastating impact of these circumstances on cultural figures. On Sunday, November 10th, 4 Baha'i citizens, Rosita Islami, Vahid Sabit, Ilham Haqiqatju, and Vahid Masoumi, were arrested by security forces in Shiraz. Following their arrest, they were taken to Shiraz Intelligence Detention Center, commonly known as Detention Facility Number 100. A source close to their families revealed Intelligence Ministry agents raided their homes after the arrest, searching the premises and seizing personal belongings. Vahid Masoumi was apprehended outside his residence. Security forces subsequently searched his home and vehicle, confiscating items such as books, family photos, and electronic devices. These arrests are part of a broader crackdown targeting the Baha'i community, reflecting ongoing state discrimination and persecution against this religious minority in Iran. In early November 2024, Farideh Mahaki, A 25-year-old woman from Golestan tragically lost her life at the hands of her relatives in what appears to be a brutal case of domestic violence. Reports indicate that she was subjected to severe physical assault and was forced to ingest a toxic substance, ultimately leading to her death in the village of Nili. Her body was then secretly buried without the knowledge of her extended family, adding to the distress surrounding her passing. This incident sheds light on the urgent issues of violence against women and the hidden realities faced by victims of family abuse in certain regions.